Variety. Start lying down tonight. So if you don't necessarily need any support, if you have it, fine. If you're comfortable without it, come down onto your back. You can have your feet on the floor. You can have your legs out long on the ground. Okay, and then just take 10 breaths in and out through your nose. Just take 2 minutes. 2 minutes to allow your attention to center. Resolve, let the breath resolve into a nice, comfortable, natural rhythm. And bring attention to what you can bring attention to internally. Can you sense internally the rhythm of your heartbeat? And anything else that might just be kind of drawing your attention to it. Any tension in the muscles, any tension around any particular joint. And then all the way down to even more subtle processes. I just sense nervous system activity, and any sense of agitation in the body, tingling, sensory endings along the skin. You might notice sensation, movement, even sound in the abdomen. Another 3 or 4 breaths. Locate attention and awareness in any and all sensations in your body. Let's take one more breath here to begin. Okay, and then you can either leave your eyes closed or open your eyes if you like, and bring your feet up to stand on the floor. I'm going to let this support come off my mat. Set it aside and let your feet go wide. And then start by just moving from side to side over the balls of your feet. Right, and so as your feet go from side to side, your knees go a little bit from side to side. You're moving a little bit from left to right side of your lower back. Then go any amount wider you would like to go with your legs. And let your knees drop more toward the floor. A little push through that back foot. Lift the front of your hip. Open and extend into the front of your hip. And then come back onto your back. Over to the other side. Push the inner edge of your back foot. Extend the front of your hip. A little fuller range of motion in the hips. A little turn in the rib cage. And find some space in the hip joints themselves, where thigh bones meet hip sockets. Once more to each side. And then come in close with your feet, heels up next to the backs of your hips, or right around where your sense, where you can, if you can sense where the sit bones are, right about in line with your sit bones. And then you're going to come overhead with your arms and up off the floor with hips and spine, bridge pose. Move in and out of bridge pose. So that full extension of your arms, both arms come back down with your breath. Once more, do 5 all together. If you're moving at your own pace, complete 5 rounds of your breath in and out of bridge pose. And once for breath. Okay, and so we'll do a little bit of bridge pose variation. You're going to come into bridge pose, and you may want to just enlist a little more support of your arms and your shoulders. Get underneath you with your arms if you like, or just maybe hold on to the edges of your mat. Like try both and just see what feels more stable. So we're going to be in one foot. One foot's going to stay on the floor. The other foot is going to bend at the knee and just lift up over your hip. Then you're going to just tap the floor. Touch the floor with your big toe. You can do this on a block. If you want to do this on a block, come up onto a block. You're just touching the floor, lifting your knee, touching the floor, lifting your knee 10 times all together. If you're on a block, maybe you're on the skinny edge of the block, and you're working a little bit more balance, but a whole lot of stability in the hip, in the glute, the hip, and the leg of the foot that's standing on the floor, okay? Now, when you want to come down, or come just all the way back down to your block with both feet on the floor, pause, take a breath. Bridge pose, your other leg, right? The movement of your other leg. Come back up, bridge pose. Find supportive arms and shoulders, stand in one foot, lift the other knee bent at like 90 degrees, touch the floor, tap the floor 10 times. If you feel like your hamstrings want to kind of Charlie horse a little bit, push more through the heel of that foot. Two feet to the floor, push all the way into bridge pose, and let your arms go, let your spine come to the floor, let your hips come to the floor. And then extend both legs, push out through both heels, open the backs of both knees, let the hamstrings rest, let the knees rest, take another breath. We're gonna do one more little thing here on your back. That is a little more Pilates inspired. And so we're gonna try to keep what they call in Pilates, this little imprint, Pilates imprint, where you're trying to keep your lumbar spine, your pelvis tilted a little bit toward you and your lumbar spine more toward the floor. We're gonna try just to hold that. So you're sustaining this nice kind of strong belt of support around your abdomen. And then your knees come back up. And your arms directly overhead. And then you're going to go overhead with your right arm and touch the floor, or out, extended leg, opposite leg. So like opposite arm and leg, we do a lot of that in yoga. You're going to try to keep, again, long lower back. And then you just go side to side. Left arm overhead, right leg extended, and then back in. Switch, switch, switch. I take a little bit of coordination. Just come back to the beginning, slow down, start again. Pilates would also have you maybe breathe on the inhale. Come back on the exhale. At your own pace. Let's do 5 more each. Here, 2, 3, 4, 5. Legs long, arms long overhead, hook your thumbs together, pull very long, make yourself a piece of taffy long, feel your abdomen now extend, stretch, breathe big into your belly. Okay, let's move from your back onto your side, and then from your side onto all fours. Breathe through 4 or 5 rounds of cow pose and cat pose. Feel some space in your belly, in your low belly as you breathe in. Feel where you were just working. Feel the results of your work there in the muscles of your lower abdomen. Once more. Okay, and then any variation, any modification, any form of a push-up position or a plank pose that you want to take and either move in and out of or hold it, right? So either 10 movements in and out of the pose or hold for 10 breaths all together, okay? So you can be up on your palms, you can be on your palms, but still on your knees. You can be down on the forearms, on the knees. You can be on the forearms with the knees lifted. You could play with just once you're here and you're breathing or you're holding, lifting one leg. Give that a breath or two. The other leg. 5 more breaths. Good. Drop your knees to the floor. Take your hips back to child's pose. Good. 2 more breaths in child's pose. Okay. Reach forward again onto your palms. Curl your toes under. Take a breath in on the exhale. Just lift your knees an inch or 2 off the floor. Two more breaths. Take the knees up and back, downward facing dog. Can you feel your strength? Can you feel your strength this evening? Take another 2 or 3 breaths in the pose. Good. Bring your knees to the floor. And then move your hands off to the right a little bit. So you could get your left foot maybe out to the side and then heel toe that left foot up so that it's in line with your 2 hands. And then give yourself a little lean forward if you need to get back a little further with your back leg so that you feel more lunge when you come forward. Adjust what you need to adjust there. Make fists if you want to. Make fists and not be in your palms too much. Make fist if you want to, and then curl the back toes under. Lift the knee. Just hold a long lunge for a few breaths. Take another breath. Bring your left hand up onto your left knee, and then find your balance. Bring your right hand up onto your left knee. Let that stability help just lift your spine up to an upright, vertical place. Just hold here in the legs. We're going to add the arms. You could reach the arms up. Long lunge, a long lunge, long stance. One more breath, inhale, exhale. Hands back to your knee. One hand outside, hand back to the floor. Bring your back knee, your lifted knee back down onto the ground. And then let your other hand come to the floor. Heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. Your left foot back. You can sit back, curl your toes under and go child's pose. No toes curled under child's pose, or just sit back on your feet. Take a breath, pause. Yeah, second side, second leg when you're ready, lunge pose. So we'll start low. So just set it up with lots of support. Your two hands maybe a little offset to the left. And then your right foot, or work your right foot forward. Your hips drop forward, right? So that you might even feel a little bit of contraction in the back of your hips, in your glutes. So again, that nice safe extension in the front of your left hip. Fists, again, fists if you want to be on your fists instead of on your hands. And then curl the back toes under, lift the back knee. Another full breath here. Long lunge. Bring your right foot in maybe a little closer. Just kind of bring your feet right to where they feel like they're more aligned with your two hips. And then right hand, right knee. Left hand, right knee. Keep that deep bend in your knee. And walk your hands back toward the crease of your right hip. Another breath or two. Good. Hands to knee, left hand to the floor, drop the back knee, drop the left knee, and then right hand to the floor, and then heel toe back, right foot. And then again, come off your hands, just in any way, just be out of your hands. In hero's pose, sit back on your heels, or child's pose, take another breath. Okay, and then come forward into your palms again. Bring the toes under, lift the knees, press back into down dog. Take one more breath in down dog. Walk your feet forward until they are under your hips. And then let your hands go. Stay in the fold for a breath. Full forward fold, Uttanasana. Bring hands to your hips. Squeeze into the upper back. Strong, stable spine to come up to stand. Go over your head with your arms. Take a breath in. Bring your hands together. Exhale, lean to the right. So a little side bend to the right. Long bottom arm, so keep this right arm extending as you reach. Come up on a breath in. Exhale. Left. Kneel, come up. Just once more to each side. Inhale, upright, exhale. Samastiti Tadasana. Take a breath in mountain pose. Good. And then we'll step the feet apart, take a wide stance. I must plug in a fan. This juncture. Wide stance. Right, and then from here, right, just reach out. Reach the arms wide where they're level with the floor, or take the arms a little bit more upward. Open the fingers. Feel your toes spread. Feel wide across the balls of your feet. Some weight in your heels. Good. And then turn out your left foot. Turn in slightly your right toes or your right heel slightly backward. And then bend your front knee. Warrior two. If it's available, possible, allow yourself just to sink another breath or two, sink. Maybe a little wider with your feet. If your mat will hold you, a little wider with your feet. Good, and then reverse back. Take a breath, inhale, exhale, reverse. And then push through the front foot, straighten that knee. Keep all of this length up the left side. Reach out. And then just lightly drop your hand to your shin and reach your right arm into the air. Turn the chest, turn the ribcage. Even if you don't look up, look out, look down. Wide stance, warrior two. Sorry, triangle pose. Wide stance, triangle pose. From warrior two. Good. Reach back through that top arm, push through the front foot, reach through the top arm. Come up, back in with your wide stance again, with your arms wide, reach. Warrior two, second side. Come back left heel, turn out right toes. Wide stance, drop, bend the front knee. And push the front foot, extend the front knee, reach up. Inhale, exhale, side bend. Inhale, all of that length. Triangle pose. Strong push through the front foot. Reach through the top arm all the way back up. Turn in the right toes. Make all 10 toes look at the long edge of your mat. Reach. Take another breath here. Wide starfish. And then exhale, fold. Arms wide, feet wide. Right, hover there and then come all the way down. Forward fold. Two more breaths in the fold. And then hands to your hips again, and then again that nice squeeze through the upper back. Let that lift you back up. Let the upper back bring you back up to stand. Then bring your feet in together, heel toe, heel toe, heel toe, heel toe, heel toe, until you're back in mountain pose. And then let's shift the weight from 2 feet to 1 foot. Support if you want, support if you have support close to you, and as in a piece of furniture or the wall. Shift weight to the foot that's closest to your support if you're using support. And then bring forward your other leg, your other knee. And then just push out through that heel, keeping that thigh as close to the horizontal plane as you can. And then just take it back behind you until you feel a little squeeze in the back of your hip. Come forward. If you can balance. Straight out in front of you. Straight back behind you without leaning forward. Just take your leg back. It's not going to go very far. All you want is to feel some action in the back of the hip. 3 more. hard to get that leg up level with the hip when it comes forward. Try one more. Not losing the other leg. Feel all of that strong support work in the leg that's keeping you in the balance. And then you're in mountain pose again. And take a breath. Side two when you're ready. Extend. Bend the knee and soften the knee. And then just let it float back behind you. Forward. Tract. You're going to feel a lot of work right in the top of your thigh and your hip flexors. Then you just let all of that get long as it goes back. 3. That's 5. This is our condensed practice. A little less time in holds, but a little more intensity in your work, right? And then come back to mountain pose. Bend both knees, sit both hips back. Palms to your heart. Long lower back. Two more breaths. Easy chair pose, modified chair pose. We're going to go to the floor. We're going to come all the way down to the belly. Bring both hands to stack so that you can just rest your forehead for a couple of breaths. Take 2 or 3 breaths of that. We're going to come up. I'm just going to prop up onto my left forearm and then bend my right knee. If you have a strap handy and you can use a strap to loop around your ankle or your foot to grab onto it and pull it towards your hip, you can use a strap. If you can reach with your right hand, same side hand, oh hi. Then you can come back to your forehead with your forearm to forehead. And just bring your heel toward your hip. Okay. Let me see. Give it a little resistance. Just give it some sensation of stretch. 2 more breaths on this side. Let go. And then switch when you're ready to switch. Couple more breaths, create a little bit of resistance, comfortable resistance, but a little intensity, and a stretch. Let that go. Bring your palms next to your chest and press yourself up and back to child's pose. And then bring yourself up from there. Come to a seat with your legs forward. Let's take the feet out in front. If you want to, you could lean back into fists or into palms, and then just push until your elbows extend and your heart lifts. A little bit of kind of a fish pose action, lifting the chest. If you want to drop your head back, you can. Forward, take one more breath. Release your arms. Let's take the feet out in front of you and then come down to the floor through the spine. Imagining as slowly as you're moving, in a sense where your sacrum meets the floor, bottom of the sacrum, middle of the sacrum, top of the sacrum, lumbar spine, rib cage spine, shoulder blades area spine, and then your head. You're all the way down onto your back, bring your knees into your chest. And then let's we'll condense this right thigh over left thigh, cross of your legs for a reclined twist. So if you take this deep cross of your thighs and you drop both knees to the right, and you feel your right leg pulling your left knee toward the floor, and this is a comfortable stretch for your outer hip, you could stay here and recline twist for 5 breaths. Or you could just take this for a breath. If that feels like too much, if there is inflammation around the hip or the outer, especially the outer hip, IT band, TFL muscle, and you just want to stack left knee on right knee, do the cross, and then just take 5 breaths. A more comfortable recline twist. One more breath on this side. Bring yourself back onto your back. You can undo the cross if you're still in that deep leg over leg cross. Come back onto your back. Left thigh over right thigh. Drop both knees to the left. Just take this here for a breath, or stay here if you want to stay here for 5. Let that go, and then just stack in a comfortable twist for another 4 breaths. And then let that go when you're ready to let that go. And then grab your support. Right back to where we began. Here, just a few breaths, 3 or 4, 3 minutes, maybe 3 or 4 minutes. Shavasana. Let your body, let your system have just a few minutes to absorb and integrate, marinate. And see if you can sense the effects of your practice. What did your practice give you today? Soften your jaw, throat, neck, all of the muscles that cover the bones of your face. Space of the inner cranium, very clear, very open. See if that just puts a little more ease in your breath. Allows your breath to flow a little bit more openly, clearly. Just take another couple of breaths here in the back. And take your time to move yourself from your back onto your side. Take another breath from your side. Pause there. Slowly press yourself up from your side to a seat. Take a moment to close your practice and just very simply honor your time here in whatever way feels right for you and makes sense for you. Together in front of your heart. So close here. Namaste. Have a lovely evening. Thank you very much once again for your time, ladies. Always good to see you both. Regular
Thank
Tuesday
you so much, Shannon.
cohort. You're welcome. You're very welcome. Thanks, Vicki.
Sure.
Thanks, Melinda. See you soon.
Yes.